Because of the unexpectedly good response to my video making a stone house border and certain modifications I made, I decided to make another edition of that video. If you have already seen the previous video, it's pretty much the same except for a few additions. Hello, and welcome to Home Improvements. As part of my landscaping projects around my house, I have decided to put a border around my house foundation. This is not a very big project, but it will improve the beautification of my house. I decided to do this for several reasons. The first reason was to help to prevent weeds from growing up my foundation and potentially damaging the siding of my house. Another reason was to eliminate the drip lines around my house from the falling water off my roof. Not only will this help protect my house, but it will help to improve the beauty of my house and increase its resale value eventually. I had originally thought about using a mulch around the outside of my foundation, but I decided not to do this because it could possibly attract insects and termites to my foundation area, and I don't want to do that. So I decided to use stone instead. I decided to use white rocks because the outside of my house is white. Stone is a bit more expensive than mulch, but it's also a lot more durable, so it should last for the life of my house. Each bag of stone is about 1/2 cubic foot. So if I need 70 bags of rocks, and each bag costs about $5, well, you can see the price it's going to cost me to put my border up. But I have one satisfaction from all this. I was looking around my neighborhood and no one else has a border around their house. So once I complete my project, I'll be the only one in my neighborhood with a stone border around their foundation. I'm going to start with a small section of my house first to show you how it's done. First, I'm going to rake up the leaves and debris in this corner and then smooth it out, and then I'll go to the next step. Okay, I've raked back the leaves from the side of the house, and I've filled in the drip line with some fresh dirt, and now the area is nice and smooth for my next step. Now my next step is to lay my rocks. But before I do that, and to keep my rocks from sinking into the dirt, I'm going to put down some landscape fabric. I bought this roll at my local store. These 3 foot by 50 foot rolls generally go for about $22. But I managed to get this one for about $7, which was a great deal. Now what I'm going to do, since I don't need a 3 foot length, I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to make a 1.5 foot width fabric for my rocks. Now my border is going to be about 1.5 feet wide, so I'm going to just cut this section of landscape fabric in half with some scissors. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, I've laid the landscape cloth, and I've brought out some bags of rocks, and the next thing I have to do is just open the bags and put them on the fabric. I had pre-measured the number of bags I was going to need for the house. I was estimating about 2.5 feet per bag, just to give you some indication of how many bags it's going to take for your house if you happen to do it. Okay, I've finished installing this section of my border. I think it looks pretty good. It only took me 9 bags of rocks for this about 22-foot section. I was anticipating about 11 bags, so I'm pretty happy about that. And each bag is about half a cubic foot, just to let you know how much it took here. And even though the bags did not say what kind of rocks these are, I'm assuming it's limestone. I did find a seashell mixed in with the rock. And a couple of them actually, yeah. So I'm going to finish the rest of the house in this manner, and later I'm thinking about putting a border, a small railing around the inside of the rocks to keep them from flowing outside the border area. I haven't decided what to do with that yet. In my previous edition of making a stone house border, you may have noticed my concern about the inside edge of my border and the possibility of the stones flowing off of the border into the surrounding soil. I've solved that problem now. I went down to my local garden center and I bought some 60-foot rolls of what's called landscape edging. It's kind of like a rubberized vinyl. It comes in different heights. The one I got is 1.5 inches tall, which is perfect for my use. And on the bottom it has some holes which you use for the 6-inch stakes that come with it. It's very easy to install. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I've laid down my new section of landscape fabric for one side of my house, and I've joined it to a previous section here, and I'm fitting in the landscape edging like this, and I'm just turning the corner like this. Now what all I have to do is just take my stake, which looks like this, and I'm just inserting it into the holes here and tapping it in with the mallet. That's all there is to it. I'm not using every single hole. I'm using one hole and then skipping about 4 or 5 holes and then using another hole because I don't have enough stakes to go around. I'm using more than one stake on the corners because I have to turn the corner and fix it to the corner so it doesn't move. Since my soil is rather sandy, all I have to do is press the stake through the hole, and I'm making it so that the fabric is attached also, so the fabric doesn't move. And I can just push it pretty much into the soil and then just tap it in with the mallet, and then that's it. And then I just move down the line. This section of edging didn't take but a few minutes to install, and now I'm ready to put in the rocks and it'll be finished. This is a section of edging which I've already installed around my air conditioner, and you can see it looks pretty good. It makes the area around this air conditioning unit look a lot better. Now eventually I'm going to have some problems with leaf litter buildup, but that's easily rectified by an invention called the leaf blower. Whatever leaves I can't get with the leaf blower, I can just pick up manually. Now eventually I'm going to have some problems with plants growing through the fabric and the rocks. So that's a maintenance chore I'm going to have in the future, besides taking off the leaf litter that's on top of the rocks. But I think that's a small price to pay for the beauty which I get out of my house border. I think having a beautiful house border like this, with all its downsides, is an added plus to my house, and it will increase its beauty and its resale value in the future. Even though I did get a little bit dirty, the house is starting to look a little bit better on the outside. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching.